Hello, and welcome to the Grand Thornton podcast, where we unpack the forces reshaping business, finance, and the professions across Uganda and the region. I am your host, Precious Kasemiire, and today we're talking on the big conversation in our profession right now, artificial intelligence in audit. Not the hype, but the practice. My guest works at the very front of this shift, helping different teams put AI to work in assurance without ever losing the sight of judgment that assurance depends on. Please let's welcome Mr. Nsamba Rogers, and it's a pleasure to have you with us today. AI has been on everyone's lips of late, for an audit firm especially. What's actually driving this? Is this a genuine shift, or is it like just some sort of hype?
Well, thank you for having me. It's not hype. The trend is here, and firms are already utilizing AI for quite a number of things, especially now from my line of work. We've seen AI being utilized in data analysis, in doing compliance checks, in review of significant and huge buckets of data. So the trend is here.
So AI helps on anything and everything. What does this actually look like in an audit firm? If you were to give us a bit of context, all the way from maybe planning, risk assessment, all the way to execution, how would you say AI is adding value?
In the line of work, starting from planning and risk assessment, AI is being utilized for review and identifying unusual trends between specific sets of data. Obviously, if you would require an individual to, say, verify or identify trends between what is expected, maybe in the jurisdiction where the company is operating, vis-a-vis what their performance is like for a company, it might take you some time. But if given a huge set of data, general ledger transactions, you can utilize AI to help you identify unusual trends month on month, year on year, and gives you some efficiency there. But also for risk assessment, because our line of audit is coming from, it's a risk-based audit, is coming from the risk you've identified, then you address those risks by undertaking certain procedures. So what AI can help you on also is to give you like a checklist of compliance checks that you can do on specific customer, say a company. For example, if it's an industry, say A, manufacturing, you get to identify maybe disclosure checklists that you need to tick off at the end of the period to see if they've done the ABCs, crossed the T's, dotted the I's. But also it could help on the financial reporting standards bit. So that's risk assessment and planning. On data collection and analysis as well, like I've said, because it's AI, it's not going to take a week, 2 days. It's going to take the minimum time possible to help you verify or to help you identify or customize, actually, if I may say, customize and summarize huge data into something that is reviewable for your analysis, something that could draw you to an unusual, say, trend. So in all that, the AI is going to give you the efficiency you need, the accuracy, because it will point you to the very item that you require. But also in regards to execution and reporting, because we usually say that without only giving a report on the work we've done, we are intended to also document the conclusions that we've reached, the evidences we've tested. So it enhances the way we document, given that you don't have to just say, I've done ABCD. It can be supplemented by summaries, reports, analysis reports coming from used by the AI or given to you by the AI.
Is there a risk of over-reliance of AI in the audit space? Yeah, and how are you going about it as a firm?
Yeah. So obviously, yes, there is that risk that you're going to, what we call automation bias, is that you're going to blindly rely only on what the AI gives you. The only issue with that is sometimes these tools do not accurately consider everything worth considering before giving you an answer. So there's need as well to always have what I can call the human in the loop to query the tool and inquire, is it capturing every other detail before giving you the result? I can give an example here. In one of those days, we tried querying. I won't mention the AI tool, but we tried computing the interest that we would accrue at the end of a certain period on a Ugandan government treasury bond of more than 20 years. We gave it some specific parameters to consider, the coupon rate, face value. Then it gave us an answer. On reviewing its computation and trying to understand where it's coming from, realize when it got to the tax that's being deducted, the withholding tax being deducted, we realized it was taking 20%. And in our query, we had put a query of a bond beyond 20 years, so which is erroneous because for that kind of bond, the withholding tax would be 15%. So things like that could result if there is you just rely on whatever answer is given, you just go ahead. Another example I could give is there's instances where in our acts, one act can give under one act or regulation can okay something, then there is another consideration that you might need to look into coming from another maybe regulation from an entity. So without the human in the loop, you're always going to rely blindly and say, whatever answer AI tool you're giving me, that's it.
Okay, I think you just read my mind because I wanted to ask you, under your risk management policy, are there prohibited uses or red lines, like that part where AI cannot be used?
Yeah.
Give me some instances or like examples where you'd not encourage probably an associate or a senior associate to use AI.
Yes, AI is here, but it's not going to replace the professional skepticism. You're always going to have a questioning mind as you go about your audit. You also it's still going to replace and help you do the professional judgment. You're going to need the technical expertise for you to be able to come up to exercise professional judgment even as you carry out the audit procedures. But as well, the overall and core responsibility of an audit is for you to give a conclusion, either an opinion or a conclusive report. So that the responsibility for you to evaluate the collected evidence and give an opinion is going to always remain with you.
I like that you've mentioned how the human still makes the call. You have to decide, give a professional judgment, and there should be professional skepticism in whatever you do. That brings me to the next question. How do we confirm the quality of the work as we use the AI? How is the documentation going to look like at the end of the day? Are you going to sort of disclose that we used AI in this particular working paper, or how are you doing it?
So yes, I think I mentioned that if it's not documented, it's not done.
Okay.
Even in areas where we've utilized AI, for example, to generate a summarized report or to generate a checklist of sorts, a compliance checklist, we always have to document, one, the name of the AI we've used, how we've been involved in querying this AI tool to ensure that the data given to us is accurate. We have to document the different scenarios we have input in the tool. We've input in the tool for us to arrive at probably a result that is particular to the entity we are auditing, because it can give you any kind of response, but if you're not specific on the jurisdiction that you want the response on, or the industry, for example, you get you get results that probably applicable for Europe or America and not for Uganda. So you have to document all those details and ensure that even in your documentation of the conclusion, you do not conclude that I am saying this is okay because the AI has said so, but I am saying this is okay because I have queried this evidence that I've collected, and by my evaluation and assessment, this is okay.
What I'm listening or what I'm hearing from what you're saying is that technology is really, really powerful. But I think everyone is wondering, what's next? What's the future of an auditor? What will remain? What will be replaced? And what will transform? In your perspective, what do you think?
Thank you. I'll start with what will always remain. The human touch. You'll always have to be involved to the point of sitting face to face with the client to understand their pain points, understand their what they call key focus areas, what their need for the audit is, because sometimes it's the way we ensure that we have given a value added service. But also what will remain is, like I said earlier, the professional judgment. You'll always have to be guided by your expertise knowledge to be able to exercise judgment. But also, it goes without saying, the core responsibility is yours to come up with a conclusion. So you, even in your work evaluating the evidence you've collected, it will always remain with you, and you carry the responsibility over the conclusion or the opinion. What will be replaced, in my view, these manual entry of someone having to input data into a specific spreadsheet like Excel in order for them to come up with a simple graph or a pivot table. I think that's going to change, because now I could just upload the whole entire chunk of data. I could just upload the entire Excel containing maybe thousands upon thousands of data and rows, columns, and I have a report, a summarized report indicating maybe the biggest performers, the unusual trends. So that's going to change. It's going to be replaced. So there won't be any need for someone to go again inputting A, B, C, D into spreadsheets for them to come up with the work. But also, what will be replaced is occasionally we've been tasked to, in order, because we are understanding the entity, understanding its environment. Sometimes there's need for you to look at a contract, a memorandum of understanding. Sometimes these are huge, page upon page. With AI now, you can now just come up with a summary, upload in the document, and have it summarize and bringing for you the key areas that you need to focus your attention on. And how that's good is, now, instead of you spending more time on data entry, you get to spend more time on focusing on the complex areas to ensure that entities are actually abiding, for example, to the terms and conditions within those contracts. Of course, what will be transformed, obviously, best performers will be those that utilize AI, but also not leaving behind their human judgment. So it's going to be those that find the middle line between AI utilization and involving themselves in the audit. It's going to be able to give them the accuracy, depth of insight, in that now you can look at many things at the same time, but also accuracy. Because I'm utilizing technology, I have some scale of accuracy I could give, because I'm not relying only on myself or on a manual calculator inputting ABC.
Rogers, this has been a very insightful talk. I have a fully balanced picture of how to envision AI in audit now. And one thing I've picked is AI is not changing the professional skepticism, the judgment, the opinion an auditor has to say, but rather it's increasing efficiency, doing work faster, and I'm really glad I've gotten to listen and pick on that. Do you have anything to say? Probably closing remarks or maybe a thought you can share?
As a closing remark, I would say the future is here. And I think the fastest way to remain efficient but also provide a value added service is if we utilize these tools, but keeping in mind that the foundation of our practice is one, confidentiality. It's in order for us to come up with the correct conclusions, we have to exercise professional judgment, and it can only come through expertise knowledge. So the learning for us does not stop. We as well need to ensure that we develop our skill, our knowledge, we have continuous audit knowledge captured from experiences from past audits. We are transitioning into this world, but our involvement is not going to change. We anticipate that like I say, the best firms will be those that find the middle ground between utilizing these tools and being involved, putting the human in the loop, being involved in the assessment, in the evaluation, and always having a question in mind even as they go about their work. Thank you.
If your organization is thinking about how to adopt AI responsibly in assurance, finance, or across your operations, the team at Thornton, Uganda can help you capture the value while managing the risk, governance, and compliance that comes with it. You can reach us on the website, email, or phone number, and be sure to follow the series so you don't miss the next conversation. Until next time, I'm Precious Kasemiire. Thank you for watching. Take care.